Hey, beautiful Taurus. Welcome back to the channel. I know you have been going through something recently, and I want you to know that I see you. I really do. Before we dive into today's reading, I just want to take a moment here, because what came through in these cards is something you need to hear right now. Sometimes we go through situations where we feel like we are the only ones struggling, like we are the only ones carrying this weight. But what I am seeing for you today is actually showing me a completely different picture. The energy around you right now is intense, and there is someone in your life or someone who has been watching you from a distance who is going through their own massive upheaval. While you have been standing there, solid and grounded like the beautiful earth sign you are, they have been crumbling. And the wildest part about all of this is how they perceive you in the midst of their chaos. I shuffled these cards with the intention of understanding what is happening in your energy field right now, specifically around someone who seems to have this strange attachment to you. And when I say attachment, I mean the kind that goes beyond normal connection. This is someone who has convinced themselves that you somehow belong to them, that there is this invisible thread connecting you two that only they can see. The moment they laid eyes on you, something shifted in them. It was not love at first sight in the romantic comedy sense. No, this was something more intense, more obsessive, more consuming. What is coming through very clearly is that this person is currently dealing with scandals in their life. I am talking about situations that are blowing up in their face, things they thought they had under control that are now spinning out wildly. And in the middle of their mess, they keep coming back to thoughts of you. It is like you have become this anchor point in their mind, this person they fixate on when everything else is falling apart. So let me pull these cards and walk you through what Spirit wants you to know about this situation. Because trust me, what is unfolding here is something you need to understand. Not because you need to do anything about it, but because awareness is power. And right now, you need to know exactly what you are dealing with. The first card that came out is the Tower, and honestly, as soon as I saw this card land on my table, I took a deep breath because this is not subtle energy. The Tower is one of those cards that people see and immediately feel a sense of dread, but let me tell you what this card is really showing us in your situation right now. The Tower represents sudden upheaval, structures crumbling, foundations shaking, and everything you thought was solid suddenly revealing itself to be built on unstable ground. In this context, the Tower is not about you, Taurus. This is about them. This is about the person who has been watching you, thinking about you, fixating on you. Their life is literally falling apart right now. Whatever scandals they are involved in, whatever mess they have created for themselves, it is reaching a breaking point where they can no longer maintain the facade. Think about the Tower card for a moment. You see that tall structure being struck by lightning, people falling from the windows, flames erupting from the top. This is divine intervention in its most dramatic form. This is the universe saying that what was built on lies, manipulation, or false pretenses cannot stand any longer. And that is exactly what is happening in this person's life right now. What makes this even more interesting for your situation is that while their tower is crumbling, they are looking at you. They are watching you stand there, solid, grounded, unshaken by the storms that are destroying their world. And this creates a really complex emotional response in them. Part of them resents you for your stability. Part of them is drawn to you because of it. And part of them is absolutely convinced that somehow, if they could just get to you, if they could just possess you in some way, they could stabilize their own crumbling reality. The Tower is also showing me that their scandals are not small, private matters. These are things that are public or semi-public. Things that other people are finding out about. There is a reputation being destroyed here. There is a carefully crafted image that is being shattered. And you know what happens when someone's false image gets destroyed? They panic, they scramble, they look for anything or anyone to cling to blame, to use as a life raft while they are drowning. This person saw you, and in that moment of seeing you, something in them attacked. That word attack is so specific and so important here. This was not admiration. This was not genuine attraction. This was predatory energy. They saw something in you that they wanted to consume, to possess, to take for themselves. Maybe they saw your peace and they wanted to disturb it. Maybe they saw your authenticity and it threatened the facade they were maintaining. Maybe they saw your independence and they wanted to control it. The Tower is telling us that their attack on you, their obsession with you, their belief that you belong to them, all of this is part of the structure that is now collapsing. The universe is dismantling whatever games they have been playing. Every manipulation, every scheme, every calculated move they made is being exposed or falling apart. And they are terrified because they are losing control. I want you to really sit with this for a moment, Taurus, because this is important. The tower falling is not your responsibility to fix. You did not build their tower. You did not strike it with lightning. You are simply a witness to their collapse. And yet, they have made you a central figure in their mental narrative about what is happening to them. In their mind, you are either the cause of their destruction or the potential salvation from it. Neither of these things is true, but that is what they have convinced themselves. The energy of the tower is chaotic and intense, but here's what you need to remember. When the tower falls, it clears the ground. It removes what was false so that something true can be built. For them, this is a painful but necessary destruction. For you, this is confirmation that whatever energy they were directing at you, whatever attention they were giving you, it was never about you as a person. It was about what they thought you could do for them, what they thought they could take from you. There is something else the tower is revealing here. This person cannot handle what is happening to them right now. The card is literally called the Tower, but what I keep hearing is that they cannot handle their own destruction. They built their life on shaky foundations, on lies, on manipulation, on control, and now that it is all coming down, they are absolutely losing it. And guess where their mind keeps going? To you. Because somehow, in their twisted logic, you represent stability. You represent something they want but cannot have. You represent a version of life they wish they could access, but their own choices have made impossible. The scandals surrounding them are forcing revelations. Things they wanted to keep hidden are coming to light. People they thought they had fooled are seeing through the illusion. And this exposure is happening fast, just like the tower suggests. This is not a slow decline. This is a rapid collapse. Boom, 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 one thing after another, and they are scrambling, trying to figure out how to stop it, but you cannot stop a tower that is meant to fall. Now I am pulling the second card, and what comes out is the Nine of Cups. This is so fascinating because the Nine of Cups is traditionally known as the wish fulfillment card, the card of emotional satisfaction and getting what you desire. But let me tell you what this card is showing in the context of your reading, and it is not what you might expect. The Nine of Cups here is showing me this person's internal fantasy about you. In their mind, you are the wish fulfilled. You are the prize they have been dreaming about. This is someone who has constructed an entire emotional reality around the idea of you, and in that reality, you belong to them. They have sat there like the figure in the Nine of Cups, feeling satisfied and content about this fantasy relationship or connection they have created in their head. But here is the thing about the Nine of Cups in this position. It is revealing that their satisfaction is based entirely on delusion. They are satisfied with an illusion. They have convinced themselves that what they want is already theirs or will inevitably be theirs. This is why they feel you belong to them. In their fantasy world, represented by this Nine of Cups, you already do. Think about how disturbing this is for a moment, Taurus. This person has looked at you, decided you are what they want, and then mentally claimed you without your consent, without your participation, without any basis in reality. The Nine of Cups is showing their emotional investment in this fantasy. They are not casually interested in you. They are deeply emotionally attached to their idea of you. What makes this even more complex is that the Nine of Cups is a card of manifestation and getting what you wish for. This person genuinely believes they can manifest you into their life. They believe that their desire for you is enough to make it happen. They have this entitled energy, this assumption that because they want you, they should have you. This is not romantic. This is possessive. This is someone who sees you as an object to acquire rather than a person with your own autonomy and choices. The Nine of Cups is also revealing something about timing here. This person has been sitting with this fantasy for a while now. From the moment they saw you and attacked energetically, they have been building this elaborate emotional construct around you. Every cup in front of the figure in this card represents a wish or desire, and you can bet that many of those cups are filled with fantasies specifically about you and what having you would mean for them. I am also seeing that this person talks about you. The Nine of Cups has this element of satisfaction and contentment that wants to be displayed. They might have told others about you, claimed you in some way publicly or semi-publicly, spoken about you as if there is already something between you when there is not. This is part of the scandal energy we saw in the Tower. Their inappropriate fixation on you, their claims about you, their behavior regarding you. This might be part of what is blowing up in their face right now. Because here is the truth that the Nine of Cups is showing. You can have all the emotional satisfaction and wish fulfillment in your fantasy world. But when that fantasy crashes against reality, when the person you have been obsessing over does not play along with your delusion, when the world you have constructed in your mind gets exposed as exactly that, just a construction in your mind, that is when things fall apart. That is when the Tower strikes. This person feels entitled to you, Taurus. The Nine of Cups in this context is showing entitlement masked as desire. They have invested so much emotional energy into this fantasy of you that they genuinely cannot understand why you are not participating in it. Why are you not responding the way they imagined? Why are you not falling into place in their carefully constructed mental narrative? Why do you have the audacity to exist outside of their fantasy? The Nine of Cups is also showing me that this person derives pleasure from thinking about you. This is not innocent admiration. This is someone who gets emotional satisfaction from their obsessive thoughts about you. They sit with these thoughts, they indulge in them, they build them up, and they feel fulfilled by this mental and emotional process. But it is all happening in their head, without your knowledge or consent. What is really important for you to understand, and what the Nine of Cups is revealing, is that their attachment to you is actually an attachment to what you represent in their fantasy. They do not know the real you. They do not care about the real you. What they care about is the version of you they have created in their mind, the version that fits perfectly into their wish fulfillment scenario. You are a character in their story, not a real person with your own story. The Nine of Cups is traditionally a positive card, but in this reading, it is exposing the danger of unchecked fantasy and entitlement. It is showing that when someone becomes too invested in their own wishes and desires, when they start believing that what they want must manifest simply because they want it, they lose touch with reality. And that loss of touch with reality is part of what is creating their downfall, their Tower moment. I also want to point out that the Nine of Cups is showing their emotional state when they think about you. They feel good, they feel satisfied, they feel like they have already won something. This is someone who has convinced themselves that you are already theirs in some cosmic sense, and this belief gives them a false sense of security and satisfaction. But that false sense is about to be, or is currently being shattered by reality. Moving forward to the third card, and I am pulling the Four of Pentacles. Oh, this is so telling about their psychology right now. The Four of Pentacles is the card of holding on tight, of gripping, of refusing to let go, of possessiveness and control. And in the context of everything we have already seen, this card is painting a very clear picture of how this person operates. The Four of Pentacles shows a figure literally holding on to their pentacles, one under each foot, one clutched to their chest, one balanced on their head. This is someone who is terrified of loss, terrified of things slipping away, so they grip tighter and tighter, trying to maintain control over everything in their environment. And that includes you, Taurus. This card is revealing that this person has massive control issues. The reason they feel you belong to them, the reason they attacked the moment they saw you, is because they have this deep-seated need to possess and control what they perceive as valuable. And they have decided you are valuable, not because of who you truly are, but because of what they think having you would mean for them, for their status, for their sense of security, for their ego. The Four of Pentacles is also showing me that this person is incredibly insecure. All that gripping, all that holding on, it comes from a place of deep fear. They are afraid of being without. They are afraid of losing. They are afraid of not having enough. And this scarcity mindset extends to people as well as material things. In their worldview, people are resources to be acquired and held onto, not individuals to be respected and related to authentically. What makes this particularly relevant to your situation is that we are seeing this card in the context of their scandals and their Tower moment. The Four of Pentacles represents someone who is desperately trying to hold on to whatever they can while everything else is falling apart. Their life is crumbling. Their reputation is being destroyed. Their carefully maintained image is shattering. And in the midst of all this chaos, they are clutching even harder to whatever they can control or think they can control. And you have become one of the things they are trying to control, one of the things they are mentally and energetically clutching at. Because if their external world is collapsing, if their public image is being destroyed, if their scandals are being exposed, then having you, possessing you, claiming you, this becomes even more important to their sense of security and control. You represent something stable, something valuable, something they can point to and say, look, I have this, I have them. But here is what the Four of Pentacles also tells us. When you hold on too tight, when you grip too hard, you actually push things away. You cannot truly possess another person. You cannot force someone to belong to you. And the more this person tries to claim you, the more they reveal their own dysfunction and desperation. The Four of Pentacles is also about being closed off. This person is not open to genuine connection. They are not open to vulnerability. They are not open to real relationship where both people are free and choosing to be together. No, they want ownership. They want possession. They want control. And that is not love, Taurus. That is not even real desire. That is dysfunction masquerading as intensity. I am also seeing with the Four of Pentacles that this person is materialistic in a broader sense. They view everything, including relationships and people, through a lens of acquisition and possession. What can I get? What can I have? What can I control? This is someone who has probably accumulated things, status, connections, all while being fundamentally empty inside because they do not know how to actually connect with anything or anyone authentically. The Four of Pentacles in this position is also telling us something about why they cannot handle their scandals. When your entire sense of security is based on external things, on what you own, on what you control, on your image and reputation, when those things start to crumble, you have nothing left. This person has no internal foundation. They have no genuine self to fall back on. Everything about them is wrapped up in their external constructions, and those constructions are currently being demolished. Their fixation on you, their belief that you belong to them, this is them trying to grab onto something, anything, that feels solid while their world is shaking. But you are not a pentacle they can clutch. You are not an object they can grip. You are a whole entire person with your own autonomy, your own choices, your own path, and their inability to accept that is part of their downfall. The Four of Pentacles is also revealing that this person does not let go easily. Even as their tower falls, even as their scandals expose them, even as reality makes it clear that you do not belong to them and never did, they will likely continue to hold on mentally and energetically. They will continue to believe in their fantasy. They will continue to feel entitled to you. Because letting go would mean admitting they never had you to begin with, and their ego cannot handle that. There is also an element here of this person being stingy, not just with material resources, but with emotional energy, with respect, with basic human decency. They want to take from you. They want to consume what you have, but they are not willing to give anything real in return. The Four of Pentacles is all about keeping everything for yourself, protecting what is yours, never opening up, never being generous, never being vulnerable. This is not someone capable of healthy relationship. This is someone who only knows how to possess and control. What the Four of Pentacles is ultimately showing us is that this person's attachment to you is pathological. It is not based on genuine connection, mutual attraction, or healthy interest. It is based on their dysfunctional need to possess what they perceive as valuable, to control what they fear losing, to grip tightly to anything that might give them a sense of security in their chaotic inner and outer world. The fourth card is the Hanged Man, and this is where things get really interesting because the Hanged Man is about suspension, about being stuck, about seeing things from a completely different perspective, about being in a state of limbo. And for this person who is obsessed with you, who feels you belong to them, this card is revealing something crucial about their current state. The Hanged Man shows a figure suspended upside down, literally seeing the world from an inverted perspective. And that is exactly what is happening with this person. Their perspective on you, on your connection, if there even is one, on their right to you, on what they think is happening between you, all of it is completely upside down. They are seeing everything backwards. What they think is real is illusion. What they think they have rights to is actually none of their business. Their entire understanding of the situation is inverted. But the Hanged Man is also about being stuck in place, unable to move forward, suspended in a moment that feels eternal. And this is what their obsession with you has created in their life. They are stuck. They are hung up on you, literally hung up like the figure in this card. They cannot move forward. They cannot let go. They cannot shift their perspective to something more healthy and grounded. They are trapped in their own mental and emotional construction, suspended by their own obsession. What makes this even more powerful in the context of your reading is that the Hanged Man often represents a sacrifice or a period of waiting for revelation. This person is currently in a suspended state where their scandals are unfolding, their tower is falling, and they are just hanging there, unable to do anything about it. They are powerless to stop what is happening, but their mind keeps fixating on you because in their upside-down perspective, you somehow hold the key to their salvation. The Hanged Man is also about surrender, but this person is not surrendering. They are stuck in resistance. They are fighting against reality while simultaneously being unable to do anything about it. This creates an internal torture for them. They feel completely out of control in their life, watching everything fall apart. But instead of surrendering to the process and accepting the lessons, they are mentally and emotionally clinging to their fantasy about you. I am also seeing that the Hanged Man represents how others might be viewing this person right now. They are hanging there, exposed, suspended for everyone to see. Their scandals have put them in a position where they are on display, where people are looking at them and seeing them clearly, maybe for the first time. And what people are seeing is not pretty. The carefully constructed image is gone, and what remains is someone suspended in their own mess, unable to free themselves. The Hanged Man in tarot is often associated with Neptune energy, with illusion and delusion, with not seeing clearly, with being lost in fantasy. And that fits perfectly with what we have been seeing throughout this reading. This person is completely deluded about you. They have constructed an elaborate fantasy where you belong to them, where there is some cosmic connection that gives them rights to you, where their obsession is justified and romantic rather than what it actually is, which is disturbing and inappropriate. The card also suggests that this person feels like a martyr in some way. The Hanged Man has that martyr energy, that sense of, I am suffering for something greater, I am sacrificing for a higher purpose. This person might actually believe that their fixation on you, their obsession with you, is somehow noble or special. They might frame their stalking behavior, their energetic attacks, their possessive thoughts as being about deep connection or fate or destiny. But it is all delusion. It is all the inverted perspective of the Hanged Man. What is really important here is that the Hanged Man is telling us this person is stuck in their perspective and unlikely to change it anytime soon. Even as evidence mounts that they are wrong, even as their life falls apart, even as reality contradicts their fantasy, they will remain suspended in their upside-down view of things. They will continue to believe what they want to believe about you, because their ego and their psychology require this belief for them to make sense of their world. The Hanged Man is also showing that this suspension period, this time of being stuck, it is actually serving a purpose, even though they do not realize it. Sometimes we get suspended in place, so we are forced to see things differently, so we are forced to stop and reflect, so the universe can intervene in our lives. Their scandals, their tower moment, their suspended reputation, all of this is creating an opportunity for them to wake up, to see clearly, to recognize their dysfunction. But that does not mean they will take that opportunity. For you, Taurus, the Hanged Man is confirming that this person is completely stuck on you and that their perspective is so distorted they cannot see reality. This is not someone who is going to suddenly see reason. This is not someone who is going to wake up one day and realize their behavior has been inappropriate. They are suspended in their delusion, and they might stay there for quite some time. The fifth card emerging is the Knight of Swords, and this just amplified everything we have been seeing. The Knight of Swords is fast, aggressive, direct, and often reckless. This knight charges forward without thinking about consequences, without considering collateral damage, without pausing to assess whether the battle they are fighting is even worth fighting. This card is showing us the energy this person came at you with from the very beginning. Remember the theme that says, since they saw you, they attacked? This is the Knight of Swords energy. This is someone who saw you and immediately charged forward, all aggression and intensity, and focused determination. There was no courtship, no gentle approach, no respectful getting to know you. It was an attack, an energetic assault, an attempt to overwhelm and conquer. The Knight of Swords also represents the mental realm, and specifically obsessive thinking. This is someone whose mind is constantly racing, constantly plotting, constantly strategizing about how to get what they want. And a huge portion of their mental energy has been directed at you. They think about you constantly. They plan interactions with you. They rehearse conversations. They construct scenarios. Their mind is a battlefield, and you are at the center of it, whether you know it or not. What makes the Knight of Swords particularly relevant here is that this knight is known for being tactless, for lacking emotional intelligence, for being so focused on the goal that they completely disregard how their approach affects others. This person did not care how their intensity affected you. They did not care if you were comfortable or interested. They did not care about your boundaries or your feelings. They saw what they wanted and they charged forward to take it. The Knight of Swords is also revealing that this person is sharp, cutting, potentially verbally aggressive or manipulative. They know how to use words as weapons. They know how to cut deep with communication. Whether they have actually communicated with you directly or whether this is all happening energetically and mentally on their end, there is this sharp, aggressive, attacking quality to their thoughts and intentions regarding you. This card is also showing the speed at which they became obsessed. Knights are fast movers, and the Knight of Swords is the fastest of all the knights. From the moment they saw you, it was immediate. Instant fixation, instant obsession, instant belief that you were theirs. There was no gradual building of interest. It was like lightning strike, sudden and intense and potentially destructive. The Knight of Swords, in the context of their scandals, is also really telling. This card often represents someone whose aggressive, reckless behavior eventually catches up with them. You cannot charge through life attacking people, manipulating situations, acting without regard for consequences, and expect there to be no backlash. The scandals they are involved in are likely connected to the same aggressive, reckless, thoughtless way of operating in the world. They attacked you because that is what they do. They attack, they are aggressive, they take what they want without consideration for others. And eventually, that kind of behavior creates enemies, creates problems, creates situations that blow up spectacularly. The Knight of Swords is also showing their mental state during their current crisis. They are not calm, they are not reflective, they are not learning from what is happening. Their mind is racing, aggressive, defensive, looking for someone to blame, looking for a way to fight back, looking for a way to win, even when they are clearly losing. And in the middle of this mental chaos, they keep circling back to thoughts of you. There is something about the Knight of Swords that is both focused and scattered. Focused in the sense that when this knight sets their sights on something, they lock on and do not let go. Scattered in the sense that they are moving so fast, thinking so rapidly, acting so impulsively that they lose track of what is actually real and what is just in their head. This person is focused on you to an unhealthy degree, but they are also so scattered in their thinking that they have completely lost touch with the reality of the situation. The Knight of Swords can also represent someone who is intellectually arrogant, someone who believes their thoughts and perceptions are superior to everyone else's. This person probably thinks they understand you better than you understand yourself. They probably think they can see connections and meanings that you are too blind to see. They probably believe their obsession is actually insight, their fixation is actually understanding, their stalking is actually paying attention. What the Knight of Swords is ultimately revealing is that this person's approach to you has been aggressive, fast, thoughtless, and destructive from the very beginning. They attacked because that is their nature. They feel you belong to them because they decided you do, and they do not believe anyone, including you, has the right to contradict what they have decided. This is someone operating purely from ego, from aggression, from this warrior mentality that sees everything as something to be conquered or possessed. The sixth and final card is Temperance, and at first, this might seem like an odd card to end on, given everything else we have seen. Temperance is about balance, moderation, patience, harmony, blending opposites, finding the middle path. But let me tell you what this card is revealing in the context of your situation, because it is quite profound. Temperance is showing us what this person lacks completely. They have no balance. They have no moderation. They have no patience. They have no ability to harmonize their internal world with external reality. Everything about their approach to you and to life in general has been extreme, obsessive, unbalanced, and lacking any sense of restraint or wisdom. But temperance is also showing what you need to embody right now, Taurus. While this person is spiraling through their scandals, while they are stuck in their delusions about you, while they are aggressively thinking about you and believing you belong to them, you need to maintain your balance. You need to stay centered. You need to keep your cool. You need to continue walking your path with moderation and wisdom. Temperance is also revealing something about the healing process, both for them, potentially, if they ever wake up, and definitely for you if their energy has affected you at all. Temperance is the card of alchemy, of transformation, of taking disparate elements and blending them into something harmonious. What this person has created is chaos. What you have the opportunity to create is healing and balance. The figure in Temperance stands with one foot on land and one foot in water, representing the ability to navigate both the material world and the emotional realm with equal grace. This is what this person cannot do. They are drowning in their emotions, their obsessions, their fantasies, while simultaneously trying to control and manipulate the material world around them. They have no balance between these realms. They are all chaos, no harmony. But you, Taurus, you have the ability to stay grounded in the material world while also honoring your emotional reality. You can acknowledge that this situation is weird and uncomfortable while also not letting it knock you off your center. You can recognize that someone out there has unhealthy thoughts about you while also not taking responsibility for their dysfunction. Temperance is also about time and patience. This card is suggesting that whatever is happening with this person, whatever scandals they are going through, whatever tower moment they are experiencing, it is going to take time to fully unfold. The consequences of their actions, the karma they are receiving, the exposure they are experiencing, this is not going to be a quick process. It is going to be a gradual unfolding, a slow revelation, a patient working out of universal justice. And for you, Temperance is suggesting that your response should also be patient and measured. Do not react impulsively to any of this. Do not let their chaos create chaos in your life. Do not let their obsession disturb your peace. Stay balanced, stay centered, stay in your power. Let time and karma do their work without you having to intervene or even pay much attention. Temperance is also the card of integration and healing. If this person's energy has gotten to you at all, if their attention has made you uncomfortable or affected your peace in any way, Temperance is saying you have the ability to integrate this experience, to heal from it, to use it as information without letting it damage you. You can take what you have learned about human psychology, about how some people operate, about the importance of boundaries, and you can integrate that wisdom without carrying trauma or fear. The angel in Temperance is carefully pouring water between two cups, mixing and blending, creating something new from separate elements. This is also symbolic of divine protection. You are being watched over, Taurus. You are being guided. The universe is protecting you from this person's unhealthy energy. Their obsession with you is being contained and managed by forces beyond your control, beyond their control. You do not have to fight this battle. You do not have to defend yourself against their thoughts and fantasies. Divine timing and divine justice are handling it. Temperance is also suggesting that the middle path is your best option right now. Not overreacting, not ignoring, but finding that balanced place where you are aware, informed, protected, and at peace. Not engaging with their drama, not feeding their obsession with your attention, but also not living in fear or spending excessive energy worrying about them. The card is also showing that while this person is experiencing extremes, massive highs of fantasy and delusion, followed by massive lows as their life falls apart, you get to maintain stability. You get to be the one who does not go to extremes. You get to be the one who stays balanced, grounded, harmonious, even in the midst of external chaos. What Temperance ultimately reveals is that this situation is an opportunity for you to practice and demonstrate your spiritual and emotional maturity. This is a test of your ability to stay centered when someone else is completely unbalanced. This is a chance to prove to yourself that someone else's dysfunction does not have to become your problem. This is an opportunity to embody the higher frequency of Temperance, while they spiral in the lower frequencies of obsession, delusion, and chaos. So here's what I want you to take away from this reading, Taurus. There is someone out there who is going through massive upheaval and scandals, and in the midst of their chaos, they have fixated on you. They believe you belong to them. They attacked energetically the moment they saw you. Their obsession is based on fantasy and delusion, not reality. They are trying to control what they cannot have while their life falls apart around them. But you, beautiful Taurus, you do not have to engage with any of it. You get to maintain your balance, your peace, your center. You get to trust that the universe is handling the justice and karma piece of this situation. You get to walk forward on your path, knowing that someone else's dysfunction is not your responsibility to fix or even fully understand. Stay grounded, stay balanced, trust in divine timing, and know that while their tower is falling, you remain solid, stable, and protected.